sound like Count Chocula.
It's a nice sunrise. That's what I'm trying to. You know, you're trying to get in the Halloween spirit around here. Good morning, Mel and Sid. Get back soon, Dina. We love you. Halloween is. Hold on.
To your voice.
Puberty just hit me again. Halloween is fast approaching. And you know what that means, scary story time. Here to tell us about the haunting of Gibraltar Point and the beer that came out of it is historian and host of the Old Toronto series, Morgan Cameron Ross. Morgan, good morning. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Just puberty, all good. Morgan, this is incredible because the backstory behind this beer connects to Toronto's, as you say, greatest murder mystery. Take us back in time.
Yeah, well, it's arguably the most notorious murder mystery in Toronto. It's the killing of John Paul Rattlemuller at Gibraltar Point on the islands in 1815. So what we did with the beer was kind of pay homage to this, spooky past via the beer.
So, more we'll get to the beer here more in a second. I just want to dive into the story a bit more here. So, the long and short of it is, ghost sightings have been reported for years around this lighthouse. How did it walk us through the story a bit? How did it get to that point?
So, John Paul Rattlemuller was a German man from Bavaria. He was the original lightkeeper at the Gibraltar Point lighthouse. So, it opened in 1809, and he was the first lighthouse keeper. So he was there for a few years, and he went through the War of 1812, and it was happening literally right there. Hundreds of men died during the Battle of York, right across the water. So he lived through that, but then in 1815 he was murdered, which became this historically important thing. Although there are some gray areas of what actually happened and when.
So Morgan, this beer of the Haunting of Gibraltar Point. So this is teaming up with a long slice, and it's paying homage to this murder mystery. So how do you make that connection? The beer, I know, is bootleg beer that the lighthouse keeper was making, but in the mix, how does this all work?
Well, we teamed up with, Old Toronto teamed up with Long Slice Brewery, and we had this really cool idea where we would tell the story of the haunting of Gibraltar Point, which you actually, if you go to the QR code on the actual can, it takes you to a short mini documentary that I did about the actual backstory of it. But we teamed up with them, and they had the cool idea of trying to emulate what the beer that he bootlegged at the lighthouse would have tasted. And, we look back at roughly what it would have been, and they tried, and I believe successfully to emulate what it probably would have tasted like. It
is quite the palate, Morgan, to believe that you have nailed 1815 beer. But I've talked to you enough. I know how much you're one of the smartest guys out there. When you say you've done it, I buy it. So I'm in.
I just scanned I just scanned the QR code, Morgan, and I'm ready to watch this story.
All right.
This is awesome. Yeah. That's easy.
So
cool.
There's a lot of layers to this. It's a murder mystery. There's ghosts, beer from 1815. What doesn't this have? Morgan Cameron Ross, host of the Old Toronto Pod. Morgan, days before Halloween. This is a cool story, man. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And one quick thing is we're holding a little launch thing tonight at the Long Slice Brewery at 484 Front Street East. As of 7 p.m., I'll be there, and we're going to be testing the beer over and over and over again.
Say no more.
All right.
Okay, done.
Come say hi.
Game on.
Thanks, Morgan.
See you, Morgan.